What's going on, everybody? Hope you had a good 3-day weekend. Looks like we're dealing with a bit of a mixed market today for the crypto miners. Bitcoin looks to be holding its ascending support. We'll look over the chart in a minute, but the miners are looking at a mixed day with some up while some are down as much as 5-6%. In this video, we're going to look over Bitcoin's chart. We're going to look at an upcoming theme, and I think that is going to be the Ethereum spot ETFs. And we're also going to take a look at a miner that has some quite ambitious goals. So let's get started on this video, guys. If you like these, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. And first off, let's look at Bitcoin's chart. It looks like Bitcoin has held its ascending support over the weekend, and we're sort of just consolidating after our sharp drop over last week. I do think this white line, this ascending support, is going to be important to watch. If we do break it, there's more pain ahead. But so far, we're holding up pretty well. We're still attempting to hold the 50 MA. And as long as we don't fall drastically from here, the moving averages still look bullish. And seeing as the halving is under 100 days away now, I do expect the chart to remain bullish. Now I want to talk about the Ethereum spot ETFs. And we have an article saying that marketing this might not be so simple. And the argument for why this might not be so simple is because people are already using the Bitcoin spot ETFs to diversify their portfolio. Why take more risk by going into Ethereum when the argument here is diversification in Bitcoin is enough? Because, and I quote, you've already sold Bitcoin by going down the diversification route. Someone's already stuck 1.5 or 2% of Bitcoin in their portfolio. So they're basically saying the Bitcoin spot ETF fills that need for the diversification into crypto. And because of that, Ethereum spot ETFs are unnecessary. Well, I think that's going to prove out to be false, and it'll take some time to see how these Bitcoin spot ETFs perform, how these large companies profit from the expense ratio. But I do expect, since these had record-breaking inflows, record-breaking volume for ETFs, the money's going to be there. They are going to approve those spot Ethereum ETFs. I do think that is the next step. And as we continue to see Ethereum perform well, as we continue to see Ethereum run up, that makes spot Ethereum ETFs even more attractive. And on the news of the spot Bitcoin ETFs being approved, we saw Ethereum run a little bit. People see this as the next play, and I agree. And as a side note, if you want to get into a Bitcoin miner that also stakes Ethereum, take a look at BTBT. Bit Digital. This is the only miner I currently know of that not only mines Bitcoin but stakes Ethereum for even more rewards. But looking at Ethereum, after our recent breakout, we are consolidating here, and it looks like we're attempting to build a support right around 2,500. I think we're going to see Ethereum consolidate a little bit more before either breaking down from support or pushing back up and breaking out of 2,600. But as we get closer to the Bitcoin halving, as the alts start seeing their run, I do think Ethereum will perform very well, and it will catch the attention of the BlackRocks, the Fidelities that are looking for more ways to push this crypto out, to get these spot ETFs, to get their expense ratio, get their money. I do think Ethereum is the next step here. Now, I do want to talk about this ambitious miner that I mentioned, and this is Bitfarms. And I'll leave their last mining update down for you, but what I really wanted to focus here was their exahash growth. And they say they're well underway to achieve their Q2 2024 goals of 12 exahash with 310 megawatts operating capacity. And also they're working towards 17 exahash by the end of 2024 with a 23 watts per terahash fleet. And that's very attractive when looking at efficiency. And while we do have bigger miners, CleanSparks, Maros, Riots, getting towards the 20 exahashes and above by the end of 2024, we're talking about Bitfarms. This is a company that's only 1 billion in market cap. So I don't think it's right to compare it to other miners that are at 1.5 to $3 billion. And for their market cap, their exahash goals make them quite attractive to me. And while I don't currently hold Bitfarms, I'm more focused on Sphere 3D, BTBT, Iris Energy, CleanSpark. I am going to keep a closer eye on Bitfarms moving forwards. One thing that I don't really like right now is they're utilizing pretty much all of their Bitcoin mining instead of to holding their Bitcoin, to using their Bitcoin to further their growth. And while these miners always have to utilize their Bitcoin for further growth, it's a constant grind to grow that hash rate, and I understand that. I do think at this timeline in the halving, it's going to be wise to work on holding as much Bitcoin as you can. But we'll see as we get closer to the halving what their strategy is. I'm hoping that they focus more and more on holding, because overall I think that'll pay off and give them more money to fund their future growth rather than using it now. I think Bitfarms gives some pretty good diversification out of US mining. They have a total of 11 farms in 4 different countries: Canada, the US, Paraguay, and Argentina. So if you're looking for another miner that doesn't mine just in the US, I think Bitfarms is a good choice. There are a few others like Iris that mines in Canada, for example. And I do think it's important to have some diversification, not just across different miners, but across different miners that mine in different countries. And looking at Bitfarms on the chart, we've already lost more than 35% from the top. Similar to most miners, this has been pulling back as well, no big surprise. And we're attempting to hold over $3 psychological level, and we do have a previous resistance that might flip as a support if we fall down a little more. So keep an eye on the 285 area. This is also right now where the 50 MA is at. And it was a previous strong resistance that might become a strong support for Bitfarms. And from our last peak back in summer, we did drop right around 60%, roughly 55%. I personally think at this timeline coming up to the halving, I find it unlikely that Bitfarms and other miners are going to drop this much. But if we do drop 55%, that would bring Bitfarms down to $2, which would be right around where the 200 MA is at. I personally don't expect that substantial of a drop, but it's not bad to know that that scenario is a possibility. I personally think Bitfarms is a solid add here. It's already dropped pretty substantially from its top, and I will add that we haven't seen those record revenues yet. Some other miners have been posting record revenues that haven't been seen in their companies before, and Bitfarms still has a little bit of a climb to get there. They did have a reported quarter back in 2022 going over 2021, so at the peak of the bull run in 2021, they had a $75 million quarter. Right now, they're still expecting somewhere in the 50 millions. I do expect in coming quarters, they're going to get back to that record revenue, and that could draw in some more hype. But let me know what you guys think about Bitfarms. They definitely have a quite ambitious 2024, and it does seem like they're catching up to the much larger miners. However, by late 2024, CleanSpark will probably be into the 20s in terms of exahash. Riot and Mara may be into the 30s. But still, if you want some diversification into other countries, if you want a miner that has pretty attractive efficiency, I do think Bitfarms is at least worth keeping an eye on. And if we do somehow fall 55% from our peak, I think I'll have to pick up some Bitfarms. But the halving is now only 92 days away, just around 3 months away from here. And I do think these miners will have one more run before the halving, before the narrative shifts and everyone talks about how rewards are being cut. We're starting to hear people talking about that along the socials. But in the end, Bitcoin's price appreciation will more than make up for the miners' rewards getting cut in half. But let me know what you guys are watching in the market. What miners are you planning on picking up? Do you expect one more pop before halving comes? Or do you expect a slow bleed up to halving? A lot can change in 3 months, and I do expect one more rally before we see our next pullback, as the media paints the narrative that you have to avoid these miners because rewards are getting cut in half. But the big picture is Bitcoin will more than make up for it throughout 2024 and 2025. But thanks as always for watching, guys, and here's to a good week.